He's a magna cum laude graduate of Texas Southern University, earned his J.D. at the Thurgood Marshall School of Law in 1982. 2005, he was voted top lawyer for the people. Lois and Richard Moncriffe instilled in their son early on that drive to never let himself down, to never give up on his dreams. He never has. A professional of uncommon talent, ability, a great friend and respected colleague, Tyrone Moncriffe.
How many of you have ever been to East Texas? Can I see your hands, please? Well, you know him, right? Mr. Smith? He's fabulously rich. Mr. Smith is so rich, folks, he has helicopters, he has banks, he has oil companies. He owns them all, folks. He has an Olympic-sized swimming pool in this big mansion of his. He has one daughter who's graduating from college, and he was going to give this huge party for that one daughter on a Saturday night. But you know what he did? On Friday, he went and got alligators, water moccasins, and crocodiles and put into that pool. And if you look over there, you could see them slashing and swimming through that pool. He invited 150 eligible bachelors to that party Saturday night, and he said, "Gentlemen," he took them all to one side of that pool. "Gentlemen, I will give one of 3 prizes to the first man who swims from one side to the other. Prize number 1, 5,000 acres of property, yours clear and free tonight. Prize number 2, $10 million cash. We'll wire it to your account, and it'll be tax-free. I have those type of lawyers. Prize number 3, my daughter's hand in marriage. Because if you marry my daughter, you will inherit half of whatever I own." Before he could finish the sentence, splash! And on the other side of the pool, a young man came out, dripping wet. But what was amazing, the distance he swam, no human being in Olympic history has been able to swim that fast. Amazing. Everybody looked spellbound like you are right now. They all ran to the other side of the pool, and the father said, "Son, it's amazing. What price do you want? 5,000 acres? No, sir, I don't want that 5,000 acres. Well, that $10 million cash? No, sir, I don't want that 10 million cash. Well, this kid is pretty smart. You want my daughter's hand in marriage? Well, no, sir, I don't want your daughter's hand in marriage. I like you, wondering, what do you want? I want the name of that dude that pushed me in that pool. Motivation, I was never the smartest lawyer, but I was highly motivated. And when I started practicing, I began to see that there were some lawyers who created magic, and some lawyers who were just good. But some lawyers were magicians. And there was something about the lawyers who created magic. They were not just communicating, they were connecting. The good lawyers communicate. The great lawyers connect. Mr. Ackerman, after a while, we couldn't fight for him anymore. He wouldn't fight for us. We were dog tired. So we had to fight for each other. We had to fight for each other. I fought for Amy Morton, Pat McCann, Robert Morrow, and Asher. Stand up, Amy. Asher, stand up, stand up. These two ladies, they don't want to stand up. They told me don't mention them. Okay, can y'all give them a hand for me, folks? They told me don't mention my name, Tyrone. Don't do it. But you know what? I'm 50 years old. I do what I want to do. I mention them because we became blood brothers and sisters. We could not fight for our clan, but we had to fight for each other. We had to fight for each other. I will never forget them. I will never forget them, because in the face of death, we had to stand up and face it. And some of you have those type of clients. In the face of death, you had to stand and face it. Emmett Harris is here. I don't know where he is. Emmett, you're in the back somewhere. Good friend of mine, Emmett Harris, told me a story once. Emmett and I are totally different, folks. I'm a black guy from the urban area. Emmett is a white guy from the rural area. But when I met Emmett, it was as though I had met my long-lost brother. And he reminded me of the movie To Kill a Mockingbird. And he reminded me of the scene when you fought your best, you've given everything you have, and you lost anyway. Emmett reminded me of that. And I want to play that scene in Kill a Mockingbird. Could you hit it for me, sir? Kill a Mockingbird. Thank you. This is right after the verdict. Okay. Mm-hmm. If you guys read the book, you know that they stood up in the book when they said, stand up. A lawyer is walking out. Stand up. A lawyer is walking by. When it's difficult and you can't stand for yourself, and it's over with, and you fought and given everything you have, and there's nothing left, and you've lost. Remember, there are lawyers who are standing up for you. Even if you're in there by yourself. The lawyers in this room are a bond. Those are my brothers over there. Remember the lawyers who came before you, Warren Barnett and all the great ones. Imagine as though they're standing up for you. Imagine they're standing up for you. Imagine people who can't articulate it themselves, inarticulate, they're poor, they're standing up for you. Imagine that every lawyer in this room is standing up for you, because there walks a lawyer. Thank you very much.